Travis Wayne Goodsell. While I'm waiting for the stats video to end, or process, which looks like it'll be another 3 hours, thought I'd talk to you about how conservatives set in motion this trend of triggering people. You see Don Jr. loving to talk about triggering people, as he himself wrote a book called Triggered. It's a conservative tactic. And the manner in which it works is how I'll talk about how my own father has used it against me. In 2008, as you've probably heard if you're regular, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints had me arrested for being a translator, confirming that Joseph Smith is a translator. Yeah, I know. And so, because there was no crime, they had to create a crime serious enough to justify not proceeding with a trial, so that I can defend myself and thus point out to the judge or jury, this is a fraud, it's not a crime. And so I was charged as a terrorist threat, using my petition for a redress of grievances as a weapon of mass destruction. And in so doing, they were able to get the judge to seal the case, because all this deals with terrorism and national security and blah, blah, blah. This is part and parcel of what my dad did. They make false accusations to get people to respond to the false accusations against the person they're accusing. And so that other people end up punishing the accused rather than the original accusers. So that they can sit back and laugh, ha ha, I got that person to beat up that other person. Seen it all the way since I was a kid. Kind of conservative technique of abusive behavior. And so they didn't stop there. They of course got the cops involved. They had a cop sit behind me in the vehicle. They put me in the front seat rather than the back seat. But that was all part and parcel of the whole thing. They were going to try to see if they can get me interrogated after they read me my rights and I remained silent. And yet they still tried to have me break my silence. It's like they just didn't care about my rights at all. And so the guy sitting in the back, so you think you're smarter than me, huh? Well, yeah, from the way you're talking, yeah, I'm much smarter than you are. But I didn't talk. I just sat there, let him ramble off, trying to trigger me into saying something. And he never could. And so I found out later when I finally got my discovery, and my court-appointed attorney didn't want to give it to me. He said, you know, if you lose this, you're not getting another one. Oh, I guess I better not get one then. Dumb. They just don't care about us. But the police officer had the arresting officer who told him, I think he was just bouncing from the car ride, because he had her put in her report, I gave a non-verbal head nod that they were going to come and get me. You know, just the stupidity of conservatives to justify what they do is just unbelievable. But that's not all. They got my parents involved. And I know my parents. I know how they speak, how they write. And so I cannot be fooled by somebody else pretending to write like them. And but video finished processing, so I'm looking at the numbers. And porn seems to be the only one people are interested in. And so I could tell that my parents were coached by the police over the phone as they were typing it out and then emailing it to the police or to the lawyer. I'd have to check again to see where they sent it to. But my dad's in particular, because my mom's was just, oh, he's been real depressed since the divorce. Now, if you don't know what happened, the divorce happened after my parents, including my mother, helped kidnap my kids and allow Stephanie to flee the country, abandon the marriage, and take the kids, take my property, take my research on decipherment of Paleo-Hebrew, which I had to redo once I finally was able to buy an e-computer. Thus, the lawsuit in 2008, when the church arrested me for being a translator and saying Joseph was a translator, that's what they put in there, was my troublemaker file. That's what it's known as among those of us who are put on that file system. And they had the filings of my Paleo-Hebrew decipherment and translation of Genesis 1:1 showing Joseph was a translator. King Follett Discourse. And they called me a troublemaker for that. And they used it in the court to justify that I'm a terrorist. Weapon of mass destruction. Bad dude. Seal the case. Nobody needs to know. Well, that's what they do. They make false accusations and then don't allow the person to defend themselves. They get other people to attack for them. And this was all done with the color of law. Getting the judge to say, oh, okay, yeah, sure, let's seal it. Okay. But my dad's, Travis always resolves concerns with violence. Oh, really, Dad? Is that how I resolve the concerns when you hit me? Uh-huh. Yeah, I have never been in a fight. My dad hitting me that one time in the kitchen, his expression on his face after hitting me was all I needed as a reward. I didn't need to defend myself or throw another punch back to stop him, because he was in shock, as he assumed I was a couch potato and soft in the belly, like I am now. But nope. I literally had abs of iron. And I had those videos back in those days. Buns of steel, abs of steel, thighs of steel, triceps of steel, everything's steel. And an exercise video to go along with it. And but yeah, literally, because I had taken a weight training course that year. Plus, I was in basketball, and so yeah, I was an athletic person, and so yeah, Mason in weight training would take a big, heavy 50-pound weight right on my abs. So I'd go down, and there was no back, of course, because Rocky IV came out, as he's up in the Russian cabin and doing no back sit-ups. And so that's how we did it. I set up the bench so that I would go down he would then beat my stomach with the weight, and the teacher for the course was cautious at first, but then realized there was no pain involved, and so he was fine with it. But he was, I think, also the football coach, so he's okay with boys being boys and beating each other. But yeah, that was the sit-ups that I would do for weight training course. So yeah, when my dad smacked me in my stomach, seeing the fear come over him was awesome. And so my dad, to then go and claim, as coached by the police, and he even threw that I raped somebody when he knew I didn't rape somebody. He just had to throw it in there, hoping that whatever will help you get rid of them, great. I think he may have murdered somebody. I don't know if he's got a gun. He may have. They actually put that in there. They weren't sure if I had a gun because they don't have to register in Utah. God, all the fear of false accusations. That's what it's all about, is triggering a fear response in people to act and do things to punish whoever you're accusing. And so yeah, and my dad said I always resolve concerns with violence, as I have never been in a fight my entire life. Never thrown a punch at anybody. Never got physically violent with anyone, ever. Not when my first wife was beating me. Not when my dad beat me. And you know why, but never. I had people stand up in my face, taunting me to fight them. But if they're not going to throw, why am I going to throw first? That would be dumb for me to throw first. They're the one with the issue. And so I've gone my whole life without a single fight. And then out of the blue, all of a sudden, all these accusations come out about me because I file a redress of grievance, a petition in the courts. And they didn't like it. How dare you petition us? How dare you exercise your constitutional rights in the state of Utah, where we claim we love the Constitution but don't give a damn about it. And so yeah, that's how it works. Because if they came to get me, which they did, guns blazing, and I decided to resist, then they would say, oh, yes, Dad's right. He does resolve concerns with violence. Because conservatives do not allow you to protest. You see it on the news. They do not allow you to petition for a redress of grievances against them. Not allowed. You can't do it. They are the authorities. You have to obey them. They do nothing wrong. You have to stop it and leave them alone. How dare you seek for your rights? That's how they operate. That's how they think. That's how they bully. And when somebody stands up to them, that pisses them off. And they use every trick in the book to destroy you if you dare stand up to them. That's why, with the eviction, they're going to bypass my rights to a court hearing to say, hey, there's all these issues that need to be resolved here. There's some crimes that are going on, not just the lies they're telling. Because they will not win if they take it to a court to evict me. That's why I read to you that the lawyer himself says, we're going to kidnap you. He doesn't use the word kidnap, He says, you're not challenging, because where am I going to challenge? I've already said I'm challenging it. They've disregarded it. I already said to them in an email, I'm taking this to court. I'm going to court. You're going to have to take me to court. And the lawyer instead has turned it and says, your non-compliance of not leaving is admission that you're to be evicted, and we're taking that to the judge, and you're going to have to leave immediately. No court hearing. And we're going to have guys lock you up, and they served it from commissioners from Utah County. We're in West Valley City. Why couldn't they do it right here in West Valley City? Because they're letting me know that's what they're doing. They're going to have me disappeared like I was disappeared in 2008 without a trial. And so it wouldn't surprise me at all if they're going around telling people, oh, I resolve all my concerns with violence. Because if they come to kidnap me, I am fully within my rights to defend myself. But if I defend myself, how dare I? That's resisting arrest. And therefore, the police will then be justified in blowing me away, as is all over the news everywhere else in this nation. And then I'm gone also, out of the apartment, just like they want. They win because all they did was throw out accusations, get somebody else to do the punishment, as they deny me an opportunity to defend myself. Because if I defend myself, then, oh, they're right, I do solve my problems with violence. I can tell the cops, where's your court order? Well, we don't need a court order, the judge has signed off, and I didn't have a hearing. I want a hearing. Oh, sorry, the judge already signed off, we gotta go. No. You guys are violating my rights. And they won't listen. That's how they work. That's how they operate. That's the evil. We are not free in America. We are not free in the state of Utah. We are not free in Mormonville, the headquarters of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. How dare I tell them that Joseph was a translator? They know damn well what that means. I didn't fully grasp it in the beginning. I thought I was helping the church. And instead, they understood it as, we're being exposed, shut him down. Yeah. Well, it took me until I finally did church history research and found out things that other people are not talking about. I've got exclusive knowledge on church history that critics don't understand even. So, yeah, that's how it works. Accusations. If you've done nothing wrong, you have everything to fear. That's what the NSA plaque or billboard or whatever as you enter into Harriman at the NSA storage facility, where they monitor everything digital, whether it's the internet and our browsing history and our search history and our modems and everything and our cell phones, and yeah, they're tracking everything and storing all of it. Don't let them fool you. And so, yeah, if you've done nothing wrong, you've got everything to fear. Anything you say can and will be used against you when it serves their purpose. Screw your Miranda rights. Screw your First Amendment rights. Screw your Constitution rights. They don't care. They don't want the Constitution to govern us. And that's triggering. And I'm doing a very good job of triggering Mormons. The thumbs down just keep on coming. Train kept rolling all night long. Aerosmith.